Follow our podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. Yay!
Hey, want to know what we are doing?
Yes.
Find out on our webpage.
Yes, go to our webpage, whathappened.world. And we've started a new segment. And today's segment is Phrase Origin Stories. It's nuts.
And a genuine positivity message has power.
Yeah. And so does Scott's Internet now.
Thank goodness. Hey, want free swag? Get this month's giveaway, the Worst Show in Vegas t-shirt.
Welcome to What Happened to the World Today. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott. And this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show.
Yay! We're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on in the world today.
I noticed nothing. I'm like Sergeant Schultz.
You should notice that because the first part of the show is all about us. All the cool things.
I like it when we talk about us.
Yeah, we're working on a lot of stuff. So first things first, if you guys want to listen to What Happened to the World Today as a podcast, we are officially listed on iTunes and on Google Play. All you have to do is search What Happened to the World Today. Search the whole thing, What Happened to the World Today. Our logo comes up. You can listen to our shows as podcasts. So everybody needs to go listen to our shows as podcasts.
Isn't that nifty, Keen? Because not everybody can watch us while they're working, but they can listen to us while they're working.
We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. You can type it in, and we come up on the. I'm on iTunes. Woo! We're up on iTunes. You know how exciting that is?
That is very exciting. We're this close to being ultra famous.
We already are famous. People know.
I said ultra famous.
We are ultra.
Well,
we're ultra. Got to play with my monitors here. So everybody goes, well, you got all this stuff going. How do I find all this stuff? And you know what I realized? I don't know. I think I do. Let's go to our webpage.
It's a cool webpage, except that I forgot to tell you something.
What?
My bio is in a foreign language.
Well, it's not updated yet, but let's get to that point.
It's pretty funny. I went to look at it like, what?
So I'm sharing the screen now. Did it share?
Look. Is that not cool? Yes, it did share.
Okay. So you can see all the stuff I have open on the top. Just ignore that. I will. So let's start at our splash page. Remember, our webpage is whathappened.world. 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 .world, yes. Not .com, not .net, not
.org, not .gov. It's .world because we're the whole world.
We are the world. We are the children. What was that for? We are the world. Remember what charity that was or what that was about?
Was that from the thing with Willie Nelson, the Farm Aid or whatever?
I don't know. I don't think we are the world. USA for Africa.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. That was back in 1985. That's
for those of you who weren't born yet, which is a lot of you.
A lot of you people who are watching YouTube. We're not born yet.
Just so you know, we both were.
Oh, yeah. Well, we already graduated high school.
Yes.
Because we're old-timey, which we have a new segment on our show. Excuse me. I am drinking fruit smoothies. Scott says they look gross, but they're really tasty. But
I shouldn't say it looks gross. It's just that if it was like partially frozen, it would have looked like a vanilla or a banana shake.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. You have frozen. But unfortunately, I put a root in it, araganda root or something like that.
Right.
But they didn't have the powder. They had the cut. So I figured I could just throw it in a blender before I put all the other stuff in there, blend it up, and it would chop it into a. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no.
It does chop it up, but it's going to get caught in the back of your throat.
It turns some of it into powder, but not all of it.
No.
So I do have the powder. So when I get through with this, I'll have that. But ashwagandha, that's what it is. Ashwagandha. Do not ask me how to spell that. Ashwagandha. But ashwagandha root. And it's good. But until I get through these cup ones, I'm going to have these little things out here. So maybe that wasn't the best choice. But, again, bad life decisions led to a YouTube show. So I'm just staying with the theme of the show.
Yes, you are.
So that's the good news. But there's our homepage.
Which
so
is
you can
pretty
see all
awesome
the different
looking.
things you do. If you scroll down, look. What happened in Las Vegas today? the most recent video, what happened to the world today, all of our shows, and you can subscribe right from there. Then all the shows are there. Look, scroll down, go to the next page. How cool is that?
Look how many shows we have already.
Yeah, look at that. But they're all there. You can get them, and it takes you right over to YouTube and does that. How cool is that, folks? That's a great show. At the bottom, there's all the links, our Facebook link, our Twitter link, our YouTube link, our Instagram link, which we will get to. That's right. You can get to our Instagram here. But here it is, the next page, the podcast. What Happened to Las Vegas podcast and What Happened to the World Today podcast. The What Happened to the World Today podcast is the audio of the show you're listening to now. So you can go on to iTunes or you can go to Google Play, type in What Happened to the World Today, and boom, they're all there. What Happened to Las Vegas Today podcasts are podcasts of the radio show that I'm doing.
Right.
I just finished up show 4, and that'll be coming up on here. But the first show was me just pretty much talking about everything and all the shows and everything that I do. So
Wait
that
a minute.
was fun.
Isn't it like what you do all the time?
Me talk? Yes. That is what I do all the time. And I've got some really exciting things coming up as we get them closer. I can start talking about some awesome projects that we're doing and working on, which will actually have me traveling around, doing remotes, having some money to get Scott out here and do some remotes, and it's a lot of fun. But show 1 was me talking about everything and the introduction on the EMG radio show. Show 2 was I just got through attending Paul Anka, and I had Jimmy Romero from the Hellenbacks on. And then show 3 was Ian Ward from Baz, and Ian has some original music that he played on the show. So
Yes,
those are a lot of fun. The next one that's coming up is Adam and Simon from Aussie Heat. That's right, folks. I went to a male dance review.
Oh, woohoo!
Awesome. It was so much fun. Cannot wait till you see that. We might do some more with those guys later, maybe actually bring them on this show. But the reason I went and did it is because these guys are so positive and so much fun. And I didn't feel weird being there. I had met Adam outside of the show, and we were talking, and a really nice guy, very positive, aligns with everything that Scott and I talk about our genuine positivity and everything. But was just so nice and so good. He says, look, our show is unique. We don't have a lot of the big money backing and stuff like that, like the other male shows in town do. They've got some pretty good money behind it.
Oh, yes.
He goes, our show is that niche, and we're there to make sure everyone has a good time. So they do that. They have a great time. Whether you're from the LBGT community, whether you're a woman out on the town having a good time, whether you're a straight guy like me going in there, I didn't feel out of place. I didn't feel bad. They got the whole audience involved in a way that you were very comfortable in there. And it was a lot of fun. So that'll be the next one coming up. So there's all the podcasts for What Happened in Las Vegas. Then if you click on Podcasts of the World, I think I picked it up at show 100. Not sure where we started yet. Show 110. So 110 or so. Started picking up the shows. Those are, that's where Apple, subscribe to Apple Podcasts.
Right.
Oh, it's so exciting. But those shows are all coming up. Then Genuine Positivity. That's right. We are going to start a clothing line.
Yes, we are.
All of our Genuine Positivity stuff is going to be available here for you guys to get. We're going to have shirts, all kinds of different types of clothing. We're going to have my book when I finish my book. So
wait a minute. Since we're doing all different types of clothing, can we do a genuinely positive Emperor's clothing type clothing line?
The nothing clothing?
Yes.
You want to buy nothing? We will sell you nothing.
Well,
we will put a feature up there that you could buy nothing. Yeah, and I think we'll price it accordingly. What do you want to sell it? Send it to them? $5 maybe? Well, we'll have to work on the pricing, but you will get instructions on how to use nothing.
That's right.
And you can have nothing and buy nothing.
And the proper way to
display nothing.
Display nothing, yes.
Yeah. We can write all those instructions out. Well, maybe we'll put a little instructional video on how to use nothing.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like
of course, there are places that you will not be able to wear nothing.
Right. There are some places. But every year for Naked Gardening Day, you could wear your nothing clothes.
You certainly can.
So that would be fun. And then we go over to contact. So if you want to get a hold of us, you go to the contact us page. We would love to hear from you. It says so right there on the page.
We would.
You have video inquiries, podcast inquiries, or suggestions. So this is the place where I said, if you want to enter our monthly contest to win the free whatever we're giving away that month, go in there. Put in your name, your email, your comment message, hit submit. Boom. We get it. And then here's the last part. So you got about Steve Allen, and my picture is the picture of me at the radio show. So there it is. And there's my bio. And look, if you scroll down, Steve's Instagram. So as I put up things, you'll be able to see my Instagram feed from here. If you scroll to the bottom, you can follow me on Instagram, or you can just load them more and see them from there. But
just so you know, I love watching Steve's Instagram account because the stuff that he sends across is usually pretty interesting.
It's always fun stuff doing. You can see like the first picture up here, that's closing night in Maryland. They just closed that. They're going to rework the show. Hope to see them soon. There's Nala. You've seen Nala on the show. She was watching the World Cup, but she turned around and said, "Stop bothering me. I'm watching the World Cup." That's the look on her face there.
Yeah.
This next one is at Mickey Finn's. It is a lobster claw game. If you go play the video, you actually see the lobster almost get picked up. Noelle at the Container Park performing. This was a vegan get-together where we brought a bunch of food. You can see the food we ate. There's me going to Aussie Heat. Some pictures from outside of the Venetian. No. Paris Hotel and Casino.
Yes.
Rock Vault. Then there's some pictures. There's a group of pictures here in this whole section of us doing our 48-hour film festival. So you can see some behind-the-scenes stuff from that. But, yeah, from me eating a vegan pizza to Vegas hockey to Elvis on a scooter.
Just wait till you hear what I did.
The other shows. So now let's go to About Scott Thomas. And
here's where it gets funny.
Well, I have it. Yep, I'll have to upload it. I have your bio.
I think that's so cool. So it's like I have no idea what it says.
So just so you know, this is called Greeking. And it's a legit term. To find spacing whenever you're putting together any kind of document for formatting, you don't have to put the words in, but you put in this language. It's not a real language. It's not really Greek, but it looks like Greek, so they call it Greeking. And you put this in there, and this is kind of like our phrase that pays. We could have had that as our phrase instead of the other one we have, but we're going to we'll do two this show. But this is Greeking. And it gives you your format, your layout, but we'll do all that. But doesn't Scott look good? And look, here's Scott's Instagram. And look at the picture he has first. The Piggly Wiggly Meat Department presents Fun Guy the Entertainer Cooks for You. When you get the special meats, you can watch and do that. So thank you for putting that up. And there's barcodes on there when you're in a store. You can do that. You can scan and get right to our shows.
Now, needless to say, I'm going to have to start using Instagram more.
Yes, because he only has 7, 8, 9
Yeah,
pictures.
it's pretty sad.
And one of them has your finger in it, looks like.
It does. I'll tell you something. I was learning how to use the phone.
So Scott's going to catch up, but you'll get to start seeing it. And I told him, I says, look, every time you're out on one of your shows, take a picture, or one of your drives, take a picture. That's it. You just got to get used to doing it, posting it, and it'll put it on Facebook. So that is whathappened.world, whathappened.world.
Excellent.
Whathappened.world. Make sure you go .world, not .com, .net. Whathappened.world.
Don't say those other words. Just say .world.
.world. Whathappened.world. I think it's great.
Back to a small screen.
So there we are, back to two of us there. So I pretty much took up the whole show doing.
Yeah, you sure did.
So let's see what's next on our subject board, shall we? Let's go over the phrase. So we want to start. Scott and I have talked about us being old-timey. And one of the old-timey phrases that us old-timey guys use is covering your nut. And Scott immediately put his hands down and went,
that's right. I don't want you kicking me.
That's not what it means.
No, it's not.
So it refers to having enough money to cover your expenses. Mostly salespeople use it. Hey, I made enough on that sale to cover my nut. You know, how much the expenses were, you paid your rent or whatever. But
or when you're talking to your customer and saying, hey, this is the best I can do because this will help me cover my nut. That way they know you're getting the best deal.
Right. And people have heard that. But where did that originate? What does that really mean? Because all these things have phrases and sayings and origins. So I'm going to call this our phrase origin story.
Yes.
Because origin stories are big right now. Star Wars just did the origin story for Han Solo.
Yep.
Right? All of the DC comics are doing the origin stories of the superheroes. So why don't we?
And of course, Wolverine started way long time ago.
Origin story. Yeah. Origin stories of phrases. So if you guys want any origin stories of phrases that you hear, comment down there, put them down in the comments, say, oh, hey, what's the origin story of this one? and we'll find
put
it
in the show.
and we'll add some fun stuff. So when you first heard this, covering your nut, what did you think?
Well, pretty much. Well, I already knew, but
you know what it meant. But
yes, I have no idea.
It came from.
I had no idea. I was completely thrown off by that because I do a lot of research myself, but I never thought to research that one.
Right. A lot of people don't think of like, well, how did that come about? So here's how it came about. This is crazy. So in the old timey days, older than Scott and I, back when you had salespeople going around in their wagons, they would pull into town on their wagon and they would sell the elixir or whatever, but they didn't have enough money when they came to town to pay for their hotel room.
Correct.
So they would take their hub or the nut off of their wheel and they would give that to either the bartender or the hotel keeper to hold as collateral till they had made enough money and sold all the stuff so that they had enough money to buy back their nut or their wheel hub.
Oh, I like it.
So they made enough money in that town to buy back their nut. Therefore, the phrase, they made enough money to cover their nut, came about. Because it was
literally a nut.
It was literally a nut. I mean, if you think about that, it's like.
Yeah, not the edible kind, but yes.
And it is funny that a lot of this stuff comes from things that are literal like that. It literally covered a nut. So that's the story that I've heard of how it was originated, and I thought it was pretty cool. So
I agree.
When we started talking about that outside the show, I was like, that's going to be a good phrase. So that was our phrase origin story. Ooh, I should get an echo machine. Phrase origin story. That's close.
I have one.
I do too, which is something I'll be hooking up eventually if I can get it to work, and I can just hit the button over here.
Yep.
Hit the button. Where's the button? Oh, it's down here. And then make it work. So I'm redoing my studio. I've actually moved. I've got a new studio. It's a room. It's this wide by this wide. I don't know, 12 by 14 feet maybe.
Yep. He had to pack it up and put it in a wagon. And when he got into town, he had to give those people his nut.
Yep. Which could have been a different kind of nut. So I'm gonna have another computer over there, and I'll have guests in here. Not sure how we're gonna work the audio. That's gonna be the fun part to try and figure out, but we'll do that. But I got my system back up, and it seems to be working. So cool. That's exciting. So from our phrase origin story, that's stupid.
No.
We'll go to our positive message.
Yes, we have one.
Yes.
Every show we have a positive message.
So we have to tie together our phrase that came from the past.
Right.
Our webpage, which we brought current because it had a past. Yeah. Our shows that had a past. And the fact that we weren't on iTunes or Google Play. And now we are as a podcast.
Yes,
so there
we
were
are.
all these things in our past. So how can we take all those things that we were doing wrong in the past and make that a positive message?
I think we're going to have to power it up somehow.
Okay. You want it?
Sure, why not?
Go for it.
The past has no power over the present moment.
Perfect. Short, simple, to the point. The past has now power? Has now. The past has no power over the present moment. What happened in the past is the past. Right?
Yes, it is.
And you have the power to change that.
You have the power.
Got the power. So who said that? Do we know?
Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle. Thank you, Eckhart. We appreciate that. So the past has no power over the present. Did you have anything in the past that had no power?
Yes, I did.
What was that?
I had no internet, no phones, no nothing. And I shouldn't say that because it's not that they were completely gone, but they were. I had a 60% packet loss through my internet amplifier.
60%?
60% packet loss.
So half of your packets were being dropped. So, okay.
Yes.
Technical. Okay.
Geek time.
Technical geek time here. Packets are how you send transmission. It is not a constant stream. It is not It is not a solid, like in the old days with analog phones, it was constant stream, or music, it's a constant waveform. The packets are, it takes the data and breaks it up into small chunks. The beginning part of that packet tells what's coming, where the packet is from, the address. The ending part of the packet tells it how much is in that packet, the information. Yep. And then when it gets to the other side, when it gets to wherever you're transmitting, because you're blasting it all over, when it gets there, it then assembles it all and puts it back together as a continuous stream. So
at a speed faster than your brain.
So imagine that. I don't know if I could do this, but I will try doing our opening, skipping every other word, because that's about what Scott was getting. And and when you're losing data like that, bad things happen. You really cut out video drops and stuff like that. So welcome, what to world. I'm and Scott. This of bad decision.
Pretty annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So
my customers were like, "Oh, you got a bad connection. Call me back." And
that's what Scott was getting over his phone. Fortunately, the data is a little more forgiving, and you put things together. But when you're dropping audio, you're done. So your amplifier died.
Yes. And I should also inform people, all my phone lines on both my business line and my home line are VoIP, which means it's all about the
internet protocol. Voice, VoIP.
That's correct.
Voice over internet protocol.
That's correct. So
geeking out here, folks. Geek.
I'll tell you something. It had me going because it happened right coming into the weekend, and that's when I'm the busiest, and I could not communicate with anybody.
Yeah, when your phone starts cutting out, you're like, oh my God, I can't.
I had to drive a mile away from my house so that I can get a cell phone signal, because I use a microcell at my house for my cell phone, which is through the internet.
Oh, that's right.
So I had to go a mile away from my house to call Charter and say, dudes, I have a problem. Wow. And then, of course, here's the cool part. They called me with their computer-generated phone calls to confirm the appointment, because they don't send anybody until you confirm the appointment. And I'm trying to confirm it, and they can't understand me.
Oh, no.
I was panicking. I'm like, oh, my God, they're not going to show up.
Yeah, that would be bad. Because
then they were an hour and a half late getting to me, so I was really panicking.
So you know what I realized that I did not do with the new studio?
You did not put a refrigerator in there.
No, I didn't do that, but I did not bring our giveaway into the studio.
Oh, my God.
So I'm going to pantomime now. I am now holding up a T-shirt.
And it's the worst T-shirt ever.
It is. It's a really bad T-shirt. This could be our ad for the Nothing T-shirt.
Yes, that's correct.
T-shirt, but this is the worst T-shirt.
Yes.
The worst show in Vegas T-shirt right here. See it? And it's autographed there.
Nope, right there. Yeah, there. Yes, that is correct.
That's where it's autographed by the 4 cast members, and you can win that. And how do you win it, Scott?
Easily. All you have to do is go to whathappened.world. I did that one first this time. And remember, put it in the comment box. Say, hey, I want to win the worst T-shirt. That's the number one way to do it. Or you just go to any of our shows and do the same thing in any of the comment boxes.
Yay.
Or you can find a friend or 2 or 3 or a couple hundred and have them sign up and say, Joe said sign up for the shirt, and they get one and you get one for each time they do it.
That's awesome. So everybody get on it. We're running towards the end of the month here. We're running. Woo, running. Good. That might be our screen cover.
I'll tell you something right now. That's good exercise doing that.
That's bad exercise. If you think that's good exercise, you need to exercise more.
Just wait till I tell you what happened over the weekend.
Oh, we're out of time today.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for watching.
And if you feel our show is not a bad life decision,
then please subscribe, watch our other shows and channels. Go to our webpage, whathappened.world. You can connect to everything. Go to Scott, Fun Guy Cooks for You. Go to What Happened in Las Vegas Today. Enter our contests. I want you to live every day, and we'll see you at the next show.
And be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.